Okay, we're live. Okay. Tonight, I'm talking to Nicholas Mitchell. He's a Democrat running for U.S. Senate out of the great state of Utah, and I'm introducing him because he's running for the upcoming midterm election in the year 2022. So how you doing, sir? Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You don't have to call me sir.
Oh no, hey, I'm sorry, but yeah, hey, I noticed you're running against better yet, I'll say this. What? Tell me about you. What is your um? Tell me more about you. What you for? I know. I was always on politics1.com. I don't know if you know about that website, politics1.com. About all the candidates. But the list you as a member of the Black Lives Matter. So tell me about
that's where that comes from. Okay, sorry. No, people have been saying that to me, but I haven't said that anytime.
Oh, okay, because I saw that on the website politics1.com. And I was looking at I'm looking at black candidates, especially. And I was trying to interview black candidates because I'm African American. I just want to know, especially those who are in Black Lives Matter and so forth. So I just want to know what is your position. Tell me more about you and what you're about. And
so do you want me to start with the Black Lives Matter or?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Well, I have it written on the back of my motorcycle, so that should tell you where I stand. And it's an important movement that needs to continue. I feel that it's lost a lot of its strength over the months because people aren't trapped indoors anymore, and so people aren't caring as much. That was one of my big worries when this whole thing started with Mr. George Floyd. Was that people were just jumping on because it was a chance to get outside and see people, and that's kind of what it's turned into. And so I'm hoping to breathe life back into it and make the police more accountable, make other politicians more accountable, and continue to do that. But I'm not anyway officially affiliated with Black Lives Matter movement.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, since you brought the police thing, what is your perspective on police reform and this whole debate about defunding the police? What is your perspective on that?
I think we need to hold the police more accountable. I mean, the fact that I'm speaking specifically to Mr. Floyd's situation, that he had a knee on his neck for 9 minutes and people were still unsure whether or not this policeman would be charged and ultimately found guilty of murder, was outrageous. I mean, if I stood on somebody's neck for 9 minutes, I would be in jail. I would be in prison for life for first-degree murder. But because he has a badge and he has a job as a public servant, that's up in the air. That's not okay.
Well, okay. If you should you win the seat in U.S. Senate, what is there type of legislation that you would like to see regarding to that issue with police brutality, or is there anything that you see currently that's been proposed that nobody not even touching right now that you would like to see pushed?
So I'm a scientist by trade, and I guess I'm more of an inventor. I have a company that I'm building. I'm working on the patents right now. It's for tattoo ink. Like, I think they need better equipment to de-escalate situations. There's only one ranged non-escalatory tool that they have, and that's a taser. Everything else is, well, he's too far away, or the taser failed because it's poorly designed. Now I'm only left with a gun, and that's what I have to use. And I think somebody needs to come up with something that makes it so that's not there's not two choices, but there's more than that.
Okay. So
like a mid-range de-escalatory tool.
Okay, but do you want like so are you suggesting like more police training or
More
better,
police.
more available, less lethal weapons other than the sidearm? You want other
I
like
want
a
less. I want more options for less lethal tools.
okay, and you want to fairly mandate that is what you're saying.
Yeah, I want things to be regulated on a federal level, and so that people know, like, hey, not depending on what state you're in, will these police officers get charged? It's just blanket. Okay, it was a bad shooting. They need to. There needs to be some type of repercussion, like for an example, George Floyd. They were on his neck for 9 minutes at least, and so that's still underneath the same umbrella as, they need to be charged, and it shouldn't be a will they or won't they get charged, but it's a they will get charged.
Okay, so and we being black men, African American men, what in over the course of the last 2 years, there was a thing called the ADOS movement. There was an FBA move, one Tone Talks, and Yvette Carnell rather, and Tyreek Nasheed started the FBA, and it was talking about reparations. Do you believe that there should be some type of reparations for for slavery, or are you on the fence on that, or are you against it, or are you for it, or and if you are for it, what type of setup would you like to see in that topic, that area?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm kind of on the fence about it, to be 100% honest. Not saying that I don't believe either which way. I just don't have enough information in my mind to make a definitive decision on it yet. It's something that I've been looking into, but I need to look into and see what people are saying and things like that. But with the information I have right now, I would say, I'm really not honestly sure. I'm gonna have to come back to that one.
Okay. Because because I hear people talking about passing HR 40. You got some people talking about, going to United Nations and all that. So I was just trying to see what would be your approach to it would be.
I don't think we need to involve the United Nations in it, because it's not.
It doesn't have. What you mean? It doesn't have teeth to it to enforce that? Yeah, I understand that. So moving on to the to foreign to foreign policy then. What foreign policy positions do you have since you're going to run for since you run for U.S. Senate, and Senate deals with treaties with other nations? How would you deal with in foreign policy? Is there any foreign policy issues that you are concerned about at this current time?
I'm concerned about, since the withdrawal of the troops, I was really concerned about the military spending and how much is going into the military. I mean, it's still a big issue, but it's I think we need to get our own house in order before we try to support this democracy, to be frank.
Can you hold on for 1 minute, please?
Yeah.
Just keep on talking. I got to cut something off real quick.
Okay. I think that we need to get our own house in order, because right now we're fighting for democracy in our country. We have limiting bills being introduced to suppress voters, and that's not democratic at all. And so with us saying, hey, what we're doing is right and what you're doing is wrong, we can't really say, because we're not leading by example. We're leading by saying that this is what you should be doing, but in our own country, we're not doing it.
So what about the the influx of Chinese influence in Africa. Is that a great concern for you as well?
It is a huge concern, but not for the reason people might think. Right now, China holds, like I said, I'm a nerd, I'm a scientist, but China holds 90% of the world's rare earth metals. And they are I think the majority of them are found in China, but there's also a lot in Africa. So right now, what those elements do is they make up components in electronics.
You froze.
And so with them spreading the influence across Africa, they're marketing the corner for rare earth metals, which can we're already having supply chain issues. Imagine if we got into it with China, then all our electronics and everything would come to a standstill. And we have nowhere else to go because they own the majority of the market.
Okay. So, what is your, we know we talk, there's issues about climate change, climate change, energy. What will be your opinion on the new Green Deal, or do you got alternatives to the Green New Deal? Do you have anything? Because like you said, though, you're a scientist. What is your idea about the new Green Deal? Is it effective, or is it efficient? Is it necessary to have that, or there's a better option?
I think it's necessary to have. I'm for a carbon tax on companies. We need to get more renewable energies or higher efficient energies made in this country. We also need to start working on direct air capture technologies to capture CO2 emissions, to scrub it out of the atmosphere. And this is all stuff that's been invented, and it just needs to be used.
Okay, and speaking about the carbon tax, how much would you want on the tax corporations for the or are you trying to just taxing corporations that's producing? Or are you taxing the people too as well, the individual American?
Just corporations. They make up a majority of the pollutants. It's not a majority on the people. It's a majority corporations where the pollution comes from.
Okay.
And so I would just be taxing corporations.
Yeah, but and how much would you tax those individuals? I mean these individual corporations.
It would kind of depend. I've heard a couple figures tossed around, but I'm going to have to refer back to the Green New Deal on that one, what they have in there.
Okay. Let me see what else I gotta say.
Because it's so many different measurements and things like that.
Right. So
if you produce more than X amount, 10 million per whatever.
So you being a scientist, what would you prefer? Would you prefer America going to more geothermal, going to solar, going to methane? What to do with trash? Landfill type trash setup with what, or is it just all of the above?
All of the above, because each specific state has a different way that they could use each technologies. Like in Utah, we couldn't really rely on solar because we have cloudy days and sometimes it might shut it down. So we might need to rely more on geothermal, nuclear, wind farms, things like that. And so bigger states like California or New York who make an abundance of trash may benefit more by using methane capture.
Okay. So you want above, I mean, you want all the above approach rather than just one over the other, because I think like states like Washington or states or Hawaii has high volcanic activity. Yeah. I think that they would be best to use geothermal, depending if it's safe or not on volcanic areas such as Washington State, Alaska, in Hawaii. So how would you treat the oil industry? I mean, how would you approach them in getting them to either transition or try to meet them halfway? What type of approach would you address the big oil companies?
Well, in their world, it's adapt or die. Most major car manufacturers are trying to become fully electric by at least 2030.
Uh-huh.
So by 2050, most of the cars probably will be electric, and we won't be needing as much gas. So they're going to have to adapt if they want their companies to survive.
Okay.
And so I don't have any love for their companies. I think that they pushed oil and gas and they killed other technologies until it came to a point where people finally said enough is enough, and we can't just sit by and not do anything anymore.
Okay. And would you I got another question. So I was going to save this question for last, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on the website it says that you're very friendly to the LGBTQ community because you said you
I'm a member. I'm a member.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then how does that spell out? How was the nature of that and in the nature of the candidacy that you're running? Because we all know we got I forgot the guy who's running as an independent on your state. He ran for president.
Evan McMullen.
Yeah. What's his name?
Evan McMullen.
Yeah, Evan McMullen. Given that he's run as an independent against Mike Lee, the possibility that a Democrat might win, that possibly you might win in Utah. How was that? How was being part of that community? How is that in your candidates? How is that if is playing out in the very ultra conservative white area like Utah? Is there any pushback or is there any machinations that's coming your way based upon that?
Not for me being LGBTQ. I've only been out for about a year, a little bit longer than a year, so I'm not an authority on anything in that sector. But I've received more hate for being Black in the last year than I have for being LGBTQ.
Okay. I was just asking because when I saw you running in Utah and you said you were part of that community, I thought, wait a minute, Utah's a very white, very very conservative. I was just like, the whole
it's not as conservative as people think anymore. Like it's rapidly changing around here.
Oh, really? So it's more like the influx of Californians or influx?
It's a little bit of influx of Californians, but also there's the LDS Church has come out and said has made statements and saying that it's okay to be LGBTQ, and it's softened a lot of hearts to it, and I hope to continue to soften hearts to the cause of equality for my community.
Okay. And how would you how would you approach the natural the nationwide divisions? How would you, as a senator, as a potential U.S. senator, how would you try to bridge the gap between or if it's possible, how would you bridge the gap between the far right and the far left and people who are trapped into these little groups? How would you try to heal the divide though? Post-Trump world.
So there's an interesting fact about me. I grew up LDS, Latter-day Saint Mormon, and I was adopted by a white family. So I've been growing up in this circle of not ultra conservatism, but conservatism. And what I found works best is listening to what people are saying and actually having real open and honest conversations. With that, anything can be worked out and talked about if both sides are willing to listen. And that's the thing. Both sides have to be willing to do it. And sometimes that's not the case. But I'm always open to communicating with anybody who has a question, who wants to talk, have an open conversation about anything.
Okay.
So at the end, we may not agree. Like in the end, we may not agree with each other, but we found a mutual respect, and I bet we can come to a solution pretty quick.
Right. Yeah. I actually agree with you on that. I think the problem is, I think there's forces within our media, forces within our politics, even forces in the pulpit, that is, even in our financial world, that are pulling strings to make people angry. And I notice, I don't know if you notice this, but for me, I notice that I see people in these areas are using fear, using hate, and try to even the pulpit. I noticed that. I don't know. I watch certain religious shows, and they keep on putting up these scary images. You hear the right wing radio to put scary images. I hear even in the quote unquote left wing media, they put images of fear of the other, and I see that's coming. So I'm assuming you also see that as well.
I do. It's what newspapers and media does. Boring stories don't sell. Sensationalism sells. And so if you can sow discord between two groups of people and cause friction, that's what sells the papers. That's what sells. That's what people want to read. And so I think it comes to us as the people to say, hey, I understand that we don't agree, but there's no need to fight over it or physically fight. We can talk about it. We can argue about it as long as we're respectful with each other.
Right. And I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna ask you about the events on January 6th. And everybody, their mama saw this. So, you must be living on a rock somewhere if you don't know what happened January 6th. So, so let me ask you something. What do you think should happen to those individuals? Because it seemed like some people are getting away with it. Some people are being getting their just desserts so far. What is your opinion on that? And what type of security measures you think, though, that during the times of counting the electoral college, what type of security measures you think those should be put in place?
Before for security measures before January 6th, I would have said none. Now I'm saying we need 6-foot tall fences with razor wire to have, so this doesn't happen again. I believe in mitigating risk. And so that's the only way to mitigate it. And when it comes to people that are getting that and the punishments they're receiving, I'm honestly dismayed at what's been happening because, for example, when Black people went out and they protested and Trump wanted to go take a picture with his Bible, people were getting shot down with rubber bullets, pepper gas, pepper spray, all that stuff. And January 6th, none of that happened. And they were storming the Capitol. It was, and now they need to face the music, because if we as Black men did that, we would be in prison for the max amount of time.
I actually think, though, it would be worse. We'd be carried off as cords of wood.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, we would be dragged out there, bloody, dead, carried off like as cords of wood,
Yeah, and there would have been a lot more deaths.
It would. So, and speaking on that same vein, because I looked at in the Constitution, it says, I think the 13th Amendment, those who any senator or official who committed insurrection Do you believe that that the 13th Amendment should that apply to the senators and Congress people who were backing the insurrection? Do you think though the 13th Amendment should be applied to those individuals so they can be expelled?
Yeah, I think that we need to apply the Constitution as written. And if it says anyone that's participated in insurrection as a senator or an elected official should be, removed from office, I completely agree with Trump should have been impeached. And I don't know what other legal recourse there is now, but everyone knew what he did and what those senators did who helped support him, like Josh Hawley, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz.
Yeah. Don't even mention me about Ted Cruz. I can't stand. I'm from Texas, man. So Ted Cruz is, oh my God.
So how do people feel about Ted Cruz as like?
I'm gonna tell you like this: people hate him because like the last election he ran against Beto O'Rourke, he almost lost he almost lost that election about two percentage points.
Yeah.
It was like that razor den. A lot of Republicans hate him, but they need him because he galvanized the religious zealots, the religious right. So that's they like on a personal level they hate him, but they need him politically because he galvanized the Southern Baptist convention types, that's why he's been getting away with a lot of stuff down
that's
here.
Kind of similar to Mike Lee.
Right.
Church.
Yeah. Mike Lee, because Mike Lee and Ted Cruz, they're kind of similar. They're similar in their politics and their temperament. So
the rhetoric is almost identical now that I think about it.
Right. Almost. They're almost. They're almost similar. Yeah, they're similar in their mindset and thinking worldview. But I also know that a lot of Republicans don't like Ted Cruz. They don't like him. They just have to put up with him because they don't want the Democrat, whoever is the Democrat. The Democrat can be on the right. They don't want they fear of that D and the R. They're still on that D and R thing down here.
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter.
That's okay. But I think isn't Texas changing pretty quick too?
You talking about? You said what?
Isn't Texas isn't it turning blue pretty quick?
I wouldn't say turning blue. I'll say it'd be a purple state. I'll give it like 2 more election cycles. I give it 2 more election cycles, and that would be more. It won't be completely blue because it's impossible for Texas to be blue. Like it's not gonna be blue like New York or blue like California. It's impossible because there's some counties that's just nobody there.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna be completely blue.
It's gonna be like Utah. It's gonna be like a darkish purple color.
Yeah.
Or would it be light purple?
I'll be like a light purple. I think it'd be light purple. I think though it's going to be like a switch. Democrat, Republican. 1 year Democrat going to win. The next the Republicans going to have. It's going to be like this. It's going to be back and forth.
Okay.
I think for the next 20, 25 years, it's going to be back and forth.
Okay.
Because of the demographics has changed and mostly Californians are now moving into Austin, the Austin San Antonio area.
That's what I was thinking. That's happening in Utah too.
Right. And then though you have the influx of Hispanic communities along. Well, the southern counties has always been blue. Okay. Like along the border. It's just that the counties between Houston and Dallas and San Antonio, Austin area, they're all just red. Them counties, that's all in that triangle. That's just that's where Well, Dallas is actually a red. It's kind of red. It's still red, but it's mainly Dallas and the counties surrounding Dallas. Excuse me, I'm about to knock on my mic. Those are completely red for the most part, except for pockets of Democrats, winning certain seats up in Dallas, the Dallas Fort Worth area. But other than that, though, between those cities, it's just red.
Okay, those small counties add up.
Right. All them little small counties add up, so forth. Yeah, but yeah.
But Texas, rural counties, I should say.
Yeah. The rural farming counties. Yeah. And since we're talking about farming, what is your opinion on farm subsidies and agriculture? Because in Texas, states like Texas, Iowa, Kansas, the breadbasket area of the United States, even California itself, dependent on agriculture. What is your opinion on these subsidies and these and some of these corporations that take it over these ranches and farms, and you had Monsanto's with this engineering wheat, and it's killing off bees. What's your opinion on that?
I think that the subsidies need to go to the small farmers, not these big corporations. Just like any government subsidy, these corporations don't need help. They're just there to make money cheap and quick, and they don't really care about sustainability.
Okay.
And so we need to focus on getting these subsidies into the hands of those farmers who care about sustainability, because their livelihood depends on it, unlike these corporations.
Okay. Good. So and speaking about taxes, would you reform the tax system, or would you be more, or are you more for the progressive tax policy that's been around for decades?
I actually am pretty proud of my tax reform stance. It takes into account a lot of different angles, but the brief and short version is the ultra wealthy get taxed one time at 25% per dollar, so basically 25 cents on the dollar, and that's it.
We can't like you repeat that, because on your side the camera it kind of froze. Can you repeat that? Your position again, please?
Yeah. That they would get taxed basically 25 cents on the dollar one time, and that would be it.
Okay, and that's on the upper end of the upper end of society.
Like the Bezos,
income bracket,
the Warren Buffetts, the Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, all those that live in pretty being billionaires and flying to space as a hobby.
Right. So you're no fan of Bezos, not Bezos. What's his name? SpaceX and Bezos.
No, I'm fine with what they're doing. I just don't think that you should have enough money on hand to be like, well, I think I'm going to go to space now, like Jeff Bezos did, and all of a sudden he had a rocket and he was flying to space with the cowboy hat on. Everyone, it was that type of money needs to be taxed.
Okay.
If you have that type of money, like you need to be taxed. They're paying lower tax rates than what people like me or you are paying.
Right. Especially Jeff Bezos, because he hadn't paid taxes in almost a decade. So
but his money's been glowing up like crazy in the last decade.
Right. So and since you mentioned Zucker, I can't pronounce his name. The owner of Facebook. And there's one thing I agree with the person who exposed them, the whistleblower.
Yeah.
And I saw the whistleblower went to the United Kingdom to their parliament to testify from the British Parliament after she went to our Congress. She said it was something that I noticed that social media platforms are actually making money off of extremism and radicalizing men. Uh, how would you address that since Congress are already looking into Facebook, Google, YouTube, in any of these other big time social media sites that is actually radicalizing some of the young men in our society? What would be your opinion?
It's going back to the same thing, sensationalism sells. That's what Facebook is, a media company. They're a company. They need to make money. And so by radicalizing or, making or activating, hateful rhetoric is what sells. And so,
okay, but do you think that they should try to? You think the government should try to force them to change the algorithm or manipulate certain? I think the fear now is they don't want the government uh, to punish people for their freedom of speech. So would the better act? So would it be better to regulate YouTube or Facebook when the rhetoric in order to combat against certain rhetoric, you have to manipulate the algorithm. Do you think that should happen?
I think that Facebook is a private company, and so the government shouldn't be regulating what they can and can't do. I think it comes back again to us as the people to really take the time to research what's being said. I know if I read something and I'm like, you know what, I'm not really sure if that's right. I'm not 100%. I'll spend time researching it to make sure that I know. And I think a lot of people should take that kind of that stance. Just research.
Okay.
It's we have the internet on our phones. We can type in a question and it'll pop up some answers. And I think we need to focus on doing a lot more instead of just getting information straight off Facebook and then saying, "Yeah, this is true."
Right. So, so you are a scientist. So what field of science that you in? I mean, what type of scientist you are into?
I'm chemistry.
Oh, chemistry.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? So is there any patents or anything you working on with your chemistry engineering? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm working on building a company. It's a tattooing company. One of the main goals I'm trying to get is to get Black people color tattoos, like bright, vibrant ones. And I have a prototype, but longevity is an issue, and so I'm working on that. And I also am finishing up a patent for tattooing for people with light skin. I improved the tattooing, so sun bleaching isn't an issue anymore, and so that the pigment and the tattoos they don't get absorbed as much by macrophages, which makes the tattooing dull.
Okay. Because like that's kind of similar to how some of those motion cameras won't follow Black people, but will follow somebody of a lighter tone skin complexion. Yeah, that was also a problem a few years ago. Have they ever solved that issue?
I don't know. I read or I heard somebody brought it up to me a while ago or a couple months ago, and I haven't looked into it yet. I've been super busy with my campaign and everything like that, and so I can't have a definitive answer whether or not it's been fixed or not. But if I recall, it hasn't. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you something though. Since though you're a Black man, you've been raised in a white household. Is there any? I'm talking about on a more personal issue. Is there any issues with connecting with the African American community at large in your state and within the Democratic Party? Has there been any issues that some people kind of find how can I say it?
Not like black enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there that you're not black enough? Have you run into those type of issues?
Yeah, I have a lot actually. It's not the easiest thing to deal with because I didn't grow up in black culture. I wasn't made aware of certain things and etiquette and things like that. But I'm learning.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to both my birth parents. And so I get out and I get to visit them on occasion, or they come and visit me. And so I've learned a lot over these last couple of years with the black community and things like that. But I hope it's not an issue because I mean, at the end of the day, everyone is black, and I've experienced racism. My son's experienced racism, and he's only 5. Like when I say race, acts of violence toward us for being black, and I hope that will resonate with them to let them know that, like, hey, he may have been raised by a white family, but he understand. I understand. I get it because it's happened to me.
Right. Okay. So
I'm 6'2". I'm like 240, and I'm covered in tattoos. So like
yeah,
I'm the definition of a walking threat to police. So like I get it.
right.
I wholeheartedly get it.
But okay. If you are elected, if and when you're elected, would you caucus with the Black Caucus, the Black Congressional Caucus?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into every caucus that I can to try and help.
Okay, and what type of other caucus do you want to be part of?
I would want part of the science and technology caucus. The healthcare, the healthcare caucus, workers' rights caucus, and climate change caucus.
Okay. And what are workers' issues that concerns you? Because I forgot about asking you about labor issues. So what is your major thing about labor? I mean,
people need a livable wage. I mean, I'm working right now. I have to work, and if like we need protection from. Oh, is that feedback coming from me? Or are we good?
No, we're good. I just have this power cord though.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so I got distracted. What was the question again?
But labor, you talk about the
Okay.
labor issues,
yeah.
What concerns you?
I'm probably one of the few senators or candidates who have actually been a whistleblower. I was a whistleblower for a couple reasons. I got into it with my old company. And then we just need to protect the workers. These companies have too much power. We need a livable wage. We need maternity leave. We just need basic human rights that these companies have for so long been able to skirt around. And people are sick of it. And it's showing up with all the strikes that are happening right now.
Right. Okay. Speak about maternity leave. How long do you think though a man, the father and mother should have maternity leave? How long do you think though it would be? Because some people saying 6 months, some people saying year. How much would like to have maternity leave for both the husband and the wife, or the father and mother of the child?
Well, 6 months I think is a pretty good range. I'm pretty sure most working parents would want to be back in the. Raising a baby is hard. It's hard. And
Right.
And so work would be a nice break. And so I think 6 months, but that can be broken up over time. So they need to, my baby's sick. It's a time for adjustments. So I think 6 months that could be used over, a year or two.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, that's good. Because I remember, I forgot which state it was that they had at least like 8 months or something like that. I'm trying to remember what state it was. It was. I know it's not. I know it's not down here in the South, but
Yeah.
I'm trying. Was it Wisconsin or Michigan or something? I'm trying to remember what state they had like 9 months.
Michigan has a lot of unions, so it might be Michigan.
Yeah, I believe it was Michigan or Wisconsin. It was one of those Midwest states. I know it was. I know it's not Illinois.
Yeah.
It was one of those states around the Great Lakes. I'm trying to remember. I forgot which one it was, but yeah. Um. Oh, since we're gonna talk about that about labor, what is your idea on infrastructure? Um, like our water, or pipes, the spending on our pipes, spending on our roads or bridges. What course would you make on?
Are you talking about the Build Back Better plan?
Right.
I'm for it. I
Oh,
mean,
you for that? Okay.
yeah, I'm all for it. We need to redo our roads. We need to redo our pipes because when they were laid, we didn't know like contaminant, like heavy metal contaminants were a thing, and now we know, and it's poisoning and killing people.
Right, because I see what happened in Flint, what happened in Benton Harbor, Newark. I don't know if you know about Newark. I think Newark's they're on city time bomb right now because they got pipes been there since the 1880s.
Oh,
It has not been has that been dug up and
that's
fixed. I mean, yeah, that's going to be major problem in Newark, New Jersey, though. I mean,
yeah, and I mean we're going to have to tear up the roads to get to those pipes anyway, so we might as well lay new roads. Is why we're tearing out the old pipes.
Right. So anyway, I think I said, what other question I'm going to ask? About um about the whole idea of Trump returning to the campaign trail. Do you think though that's the threat to American democracy, America to this republic? Do you think that this is the threat to American democracy? Trump, the idea of Trump coming back on the campaign trail.
He shouldn't be allowed to. He should have been impeached. He shouldn't be allowed to run again. And it's the weak backbone of these Republican senators and congressmen that didn't want to. They didn't do what was right. They didn't vote to impeach, even though he incited a violence against them and an insurrection and a coup.
Okay, and so and there's a possibility of Joe Biden not running in 2024. But I know I hear it speculating he's not going to run for a second term.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you would like to see run in 2024 if Biden is not running?
Our current vice president.
Oh, you want? Oh, okay. You're a fan of the current vice president.
I am.
Okay. All right then. I guess I don't have anything else to say. I think there's one little question I forgot to add to ask you, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is. When is y'all's debate? Democratic Party debate between you and the other two candidates?
That's a great question. I do not know. We do things on a convention basis out here, and so I'm still learning everything. I'm new to politics, so I'm learning.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know when that will happen, but I know the convention is in March.
Okay. My bad. I thought y'all do primaries. Y'all do conventions.
Yeah, we do conventions out here.
Oh, okay. I was going on. I thought so.
Voice voting.
Okay. That's right. There's another question. What do you feel about ranked choice voting? I disagree with it, but what do you feel about it?
I mean, the person who's going to win, they're going to win no matter what. If it's ranked choice or just single vote, and so it doesn't really I don't really have an opinion on it because whoever's going to win is going to win, and it's going to be fairly obvious.
Okay. Yeah, but I think though whoever's going to be the Democrat candidate, whether that's you or the two other gentlemen that's running, I think though y'all might have a shot because y'all ain't let the Democrats since I don't know ever since time immemorial. I mean,
1970 is what I heard.
Yeah. So
as a senator.
Yeah, as a senator, and the last presidential candidate won was Johnson, 64. You're going presidential wise, but I'm just like the possibility because Ed McMullen is doing his anti-Trump conservatism versus Trump Mike Lee, and I think though that might spell victory for the Democrat column.
And there's also I'm pretty sure I'm not 100% sure. I'm saying pretty sure, but Becky Edwards is also collecting signatures to get on the ballot.
Becky who?
Becky Edwards. She's another Republican running against Mike Lee.
Oh, okay.
And she's collecting. I'm pretty sure she's collecting signatures as well. Not 100% sure, but it's looking like that.
Well, is she more in the Mitt Romney? Yeah, I know. She's more in the Mitt Romney type of conservatism.
Yeah. I believe so.
Okay. And I know that you don't care about. I know that is out of your scope for right now. But what is your opinion on the other senator, Mitt Romney? I mean, is he a person that is still likable in Utah, or he's still hated? Like
he's beloved in Utah. And so if I was running against Mike Lee, it would be Mitt Romney. I would lose hands down.
Okay.
As long as he's running, no one's going to beat him.
Right. I like Mitt. I'm sorry, I kind of like Mitt Romney. I mean,
yeah, he calls it like it is, right? He just
right. You might disagree with him, but I like the like people like him and Colin Powell. Those are the type of leaders that are missing in today's era. That calm, cool, collected individual who's not screaming at you, not doing all these childish antics that I see, like how the governor of Florida is, or even that Congressman Matt Gaetz out of Florida too.
And, everyone out of Florida. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I don't know what's the deal with Florida.
I'm trying
to figure out what's going on with Florida. They kind of like every so often they grew up these politicians that you'd be like, who are these folks? They come out of a comic book or something, like a bad B movie, like one of them 1970s horror movies. You like where y'all coming from,
Yeah. I don't know, but I think the same thing. I'm like, who voted for these people? I like Boebert. I'm like, how did you even get in? Lauren Boebert out of Georgia.
Yeah. And those people I don't know if you pay attention to the politics in Arizona when I'm talking about on the Republican side. They're talking about kicking people out of the Republican Party, suing some of the people in the Republican Party. They're talking about they're doing some it's almost to a point of violence out there in Arizona toward their own Republican officials.
Yeah, it's honestly, it was one of my biggest fears running was safety. And so like I pay attention to that type of stuff, violence against political candidates or leaders and things like that. And so it's something that I have an eye on. Because these people are emboldened right now. Maybe not so much anymore since January 6th and the fall that's happened there. We kind of talked about, but it's extremism breeds violence usually.
Yeah, it's I still got that Gabby Galbert's situation, Arizona. That's still fresh in my mind. You know, what happened to her? No, Gilfords. That's her name. Gabby Gilfords. I'm the one saying Gabby Gilfords shooting. About when that about 10 years ago or so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So yeah, that's still in the fresh on my mind too back then. So anyway, I don't want to waste any more of your time.
Oh, you're not wasting my time at all.
Yeah. I appreciate this conversation,
So
Nick.
do I.
So anyway, I hope you
anytime.
Yeah, I hope you be successful in the convention in the next few months, and we might have you might be the next senator, assuming Ed McMullen and Mike Lee duke it out.
Yeah,
with you, be a three-party race. No, actually, gonna be four parties because you got
I think
that.
it's gonna be four. I have a strong feeling it's gonna be a 4-person race.
Yeah, because y'all have the United Utah Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm referring to Becky Edwards. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, like four, like who, like coming from the two main parties.
Okay. All right then. Oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate you for dropping by, and this is about like my third or fourth interview. About the fourth interview I've done. So I appreciate you from dropping by.
No problem. This is my fourth, I think, as well. So.
Oh, okay. So you had done this online with other people.
Yeah. 2 were radios, and 1 was a podcast type thing on YouTube.
Oh, okay. I'm just doing this as a hobby and to build up my
You're following?
Huh?
You're following?
Yeah, I'm just trying. I'm just following politics right now. So that's what I'm just doing. I'm just following certain people in politics, and it's my interest and stuff. So anyway, I appreciate you for dropping by, Nick, and I wish you well. And,
Thank you. You too.
And good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me today.
Right. All right, then. I'm going to get on off of here, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.
All right, that sounds great.
All right, then. Peace, y'all. I'm out. And thank you for everybody who have supported me. And anyway, have yourself a nice night, and I'm out of here. Peace, y'all. I'm out.